We're looking at isometric drawing and orthographic projections. Now, an orthographic projection is going to be three views showing three sides, the top, the front, and the side of one of these three-dimensional figures. And the isometric drawing is a drawing that's done in 3D. Now, such a drawing looks a little bit different from what you would normally see when you're doing a 3D perspective drawing, because the point of this is not to be artistic and to look right. The point of this is to be accurate with measurements. So a line that's farther away from the observer is going to have the same size as a line that's close to the observer if they are of the same size. You'll see as I get going. So I'm going to start out by drawing example number 1. So example 1 that you can see right here, I'm going to draw it in isometric. The first step is I'm going to draw what we call a crate. So the crate is going to be basically a box that's drawn around the It's a box that's drawn around the area where I'm going to draw the figure. Now, as you can see, I'm following the lines on my isometric paper. And the way this paper works is these lines are all 30 degrees from the horizontal. So if you were to draw a line straight across the horizon and then angle it upward 30 degrees, that would give you all of these lines here. So all lines that would be parallel to the ground are actually drawn as 30 degrees. So now I'm doing figure 1, and I'm going to draw it just as it is here. So actually, let me rotate it just to sort of show you how this works, so I'm not just straight out copying. So instead of looking at it this way, I'm going to rotate it so we're looking at it from the other side here. So I'm going to essentially make cuts from my crate by following those lines. So again, the crate is this box that I've drawn around it. And notice I'm following my isometric lines. Any vertical line should go straight up and down. And any horizontal line should be along these faint lines that you can see that are all 30 degrees from the horizon. And now if I look at my example I'm drawing, I've got to cut out those rabbit ears at the top, and I've got to cut out this part in the bottom as well. So this part I'm going to cut out in the bottom. Notice how I'm going to follow my isometric 30-degree lines for my horizontal lines. And then these vertical lines, I'm going to draw them perfectly vertically. And now for the rabbit ears at the top, I'm going to follow this line here, this one there. And I'm going to come straight down here, straight down there, straight down here. Okay. So now you can see I have almost all of the lines that are required. I've taken this object here and I've rotated it. Looks like that is almost 180 degrees if we're looking above clockwise. And now I'm going to erase the lines on my crate, and the figure is going to take shape. So let me grab my eraser. And make that eraser a little bit smaller so I can do this as cleanly as possible here. Now I may have to erase a few more lines than I want to. I'm going to have to just fill them back in. Now, obviously, if you're using a computer, you'd use CAD, that's computer-aided design. You'd use something like AutoCAD or Onshape or Solid Edge to draw something like this. And I'm just trying to use the computer to show you how you would draw this freehand. There you go. So what we have now is an isometric drawing of this view here. A couple of things to remember. One, the closest thing to you is the edge, not the flat part of the crate. You draw a crate completely around the object, and then you slowly make cuts in the crate until the 3D figure you're drawing emerges. Now, I'm going to draw the top view, the front view, and the side view over here. So from the very top, if I was to look at this from the top down, what I would see is, these are my rabbit ears here. And here's the middle part. That's the top view. And then this base, so this portion right here, I'm going to draw this portion right here. And when I look at it from the top, it's going to look like this. So that's my top view. Then when I look at this from the front, so that is when I look at it viewing this way, let's say the eyeball's here, and I'm viewing the front. I'm going to see those rabbit ears. And I'm going to see the feet, and the feet are going to look just like squares. And then I got to draw this middle part here. So notice what I've drawn. These are these spots here. And right here, this is this part here. And right here is this part here. That's all you would see if you were to rotate this around and view it from the front. And finally, the side view. And if I'm looking at this from the side, all I'm going to see is a backwards L. So what I'm looking at right here is this portion right here. Now, taking your time and using a pencil and a ruler, what you really should do is line up, the top should line up with the top as you look from the side to the front. And this should line up with this. And the dimensions of, say, this ear should match this ear, and that ear should match that ear. You should take your time to get all of those things. Now, if I use the computer to do that, it's not really going to be realistic with respect to your hand drawing. That's why I've not done that. I can redo this afterwards using these lines to show you exactly what should end up looking like, but that's not really the same process as doing this by hand. So again, this is called isometric. So isometric is, yeah, it's not letting me write. Isometric is a three-dimensional drawing where a line that's far away or a line that's close have the same actual dimension. There's no perspective in this. It's not artwork. It's a construction drawing. And the orthographic projections show the top, the front, and the side view, and they don't show any 3D depth. They're just a flat view from different sides.